What do you see? I know obviously all of you here that own and operate have hotels that are branded versus independent hotels. Do you have any kind of case study? I mean, can you see when you compare them, maybe even within the comp set? I mean, we talked about getting a premium over an independent soft brand hotel can get a premium over a branded property. I mean, so I guess that makes it even more of a compelling, reason to build these hotels, and also from the lending side, to a lender and showing them in the comp set that you're going to get a higher rate in that market, higher RevPAR index maybe than a hotel next door. I mean, I think that's part of the compelling reason to get into the soft brand game, so to speak.
It's an interesting place. So at the end of the day, it comes down to location of the asset, what the box is, right? But it's risk and rewards. So do I go completely independent? I save on the fees. Mm-hmm. I have a good exit strategy, everything else. Well, what we've found is there's a lot of stuff internally that we need to do, and it's not always cheaper, right? So you have to have a bigger sales team. You have to have more marketing support. The res system doesn't exist. We need to. I don't have a rewards program. I'm going to be buying into a rewards program. Right. And so then there's the risk of on the finance side, right? Where's the assurance of that pipeline of business coming in, or the national brand behind it? So, I think it's really asset by asset, and really market by market. Roadside America Hotel, true independent, I'm getting pretty nervous.
Is that a brand? I've never heard that one.
No.
No. Roadside, that's a good one though. I might take that.
Yeah.
Good for SEO. Good for SEO.
Yeah.
It's on the tape.
But in the middle of the city, next to a university, huge demand generators, a lot of compression. Maybe you're worth the risk.
Yeah. Well, actually, Tom, it's interesting. You were talking about we were talking about your end vision. It's almost like that is part of Ascend, but it's kind of a brand within a brand. It's not. I guess you call them independent hotels, but they are a brand. I think you have 4 of them, but then they're part of Ascend. I mean, what does that whole kind of play like?
We started with an independent hotel, not with an idea of creating a brand, but we loved setting up the first one. It was such a great experience, so we thought we should do more of these, and looked into why not doing it with the same name. So there's trademark issues, and there's other things that we had to spend a lot of time figuring out before we started putting hotels with the same name. Yeah. But when we started doing that, we figured, it's so successful in one location, we have to really take that name and use it somewhere else. The challenge always was, will we be able to sell these hotels with these brands? So then we made a conscious decision of saying we'll invest in this for long term, then we'll see what happens. Because when you have investors, the challenge always is exit strategy. Yeah. So in our case, we own all our hotels, so we didn't have that challenge. But I'm sure if you were pitching it or an investor was doing it, they would not be looking at it that way. Yeah. So for us, that was the case, and we said, hey, we actually have an in-house designer and we have project managers. We are set up to do more of these, but that was a conscious decision.
It's interesting about exit strategy. And Jerry, you were talking earlier about, and I always thought, when you go to sell your hotel, if it is unencumbered, it's easier that way. But I always heard, and Bruce may back me up, that if it's a branded hotel, you'll get a better at disposal. You'll get a higher price for it than a hotel that's not branded. Is that incorrect? Am I incorrect there?
Well, I think one point might be that a hotel has the ability to be flagged. Sometimes the physical constrictions don't permit it, and that might hamper its sale as an independent.
Right.
And all brands are not created equal. So upon exit, clearly the brand that's on the box plays a huge piece.
And there's different buyers for different types of, there's the hardcore REIT buyers that are just looking for that, upscale, select service,
looking for the coupon
operating model that they can throw into one of their funds that they understand. Or you have examples of these, upscale independent hotels that do, or soft brands that do phenomenally well and get a huge premium against those types of hotels. With NOI and return on investment, and that's what's going to ultimately determine the cap rate, and what it trades at is usually a multiple of income. So And there's a set group of buyers for those assets, both private and institutional. So it depends on the buyer.
So let me ask you this. So Ascend, you guys have the most, I believe, properties as a soft brand in the marketplace.
We do.
Over how many properties is this?
So of 135 open today
Wow.
in the U.S., another 30 or so globally, and then another 50 properties under development.
So let me ask you. So one of the things we're seeing now is people becoming, as hotel companies have their soft brands, and it seems like every hotel company now has them. Now you're seeing, brought up earlier, a tiering of soft brands where you have, and you guys are in the upscale market, but you're seeing, with Autograph, they have upscale, I guess, upper upscale.
I see Autographs more of upper upscale, touching on the lower end of luxury.
Yeah. But Hilton has Curio, and also have what they launched, Tapestry, for kind of the more of a, I guess, mid-scale play. Are you guys looking? I mean, it's just interesting that we're seeing. Obviously there's a I don't want to say a glut of brands. There's so many brands out there, but now it used to be just that you had your one soft brand, but now you're seeing kind of tiering of soft brands. I mean, how does that strike you? And as Choice Look is saying, maybe we do a Choice soft brand for the mid-scale segment.
Yeah, I mean, there's no plans for that right now, but I can tell you most of the lodging companies are public companies, and we need to grow month to month, quarter to quarter, and some of the brand companies have very mature brands that are sold out in a lot of markets and building on top of each other to some extent to developers' dismay in a lot of cases, and really hurting some long-term relationships with the folks that help them build those brands. And so really, if they're going to acquire another brand, that's one way to grow. If they're going to try to grow incrementally, organically, they launch other brands into small slices of space where they don't think they're covered. Right. We like to think at Choice that we're very well segmented. All our brands are a good distance apart from each other. Cambria is not going to compete with an Ascend. Cambria is not going to compete with an Econo Lodge at the economy level, which is a great brand at that level for a lot of people. So some of the other our competitors are, I mean, if you look at their segmentation, it is stacked, and it's kind of hard to tell the difference between one brand over the next. So we see that as an opportunity, particularly at Choice, to go in there and gain some market share on those companies that are competing against themselves.
It might be interesting in the future to see how some of these soft brands roll out, because if you really think about it, Holiday Inn and Hilton back 70 years ago were independents, soft brands.
Right.
There were a couple hotels in the entire United States, and they ended up becoming a brand. So it might be interesting looking at this in reverse, 10, 15 years from now. Some of those soft brands maybe are one of our new brands that are nationwide.
Well, everyone started as an independent. Right?
Absolutely.
That's a great point. It has come really, really full circle.
Yeah,
Or starting to, at least.
Yeah. Well, before Hilton Holiday Inns, all you had was bed and breakfast.
Right.
Roadside motels.
We're going way back now. It's like the days.
Well, I don't remember that. I do not remember that. That is not part of my wheelhouse.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's just interesting to see the evolution of soft brands, and I think that it's a segment that is so popular now with developers, obviously, and with customers too, that it seems to be something that's just going to keep growing.